Chosen one. You just put the right person to absolute shame and set the record straight. Someone who built their entire reputation on manipulation and deceit just got spiritually subpoenaed by the universe. The truth they buried so deeply is now screaming for air, and you're the vessel chosen to deliver it. The same crowd that doubted you is watching evidence unfold that you were right all along. The record is clean, the false narrative is dead, and while their mask crumbles in front of everyone, you're walking forward untouched, proof that divine justice doesn't miss. You need to understand something fundamental about power. Real power does not come from controlling narratives. It comes from knowing truth. Real power does not come from manipulating people. It comes from serving justice. Real power does not come from silencing voices. It comes from amplifying truth. The deceiver thought power meant making people believe a false version of reality. But that is not power. That is control. And control is fragile. Control requires constant effort to maintain, constant vigilance to protect, constant manipulation to sustain. But power, real power, is effortless. It just exists. It does not need defense because it cannot be attacked. It does not need protection because it cannot be destroyed. It does not need maintenance because it is self-sustaining. You are about to experience what real power feels like. Not the fake power of controlling rooms, but the genuine power of changing lives. Not the shallow power of commanding attention, but the deep power of liberating souls. Not the temporary power of winning arguments, but the permanent power of establishing truth. And once you taste that real power, you will never want the fake version again. You will understand why the faker's position always felt unstable, because it was. This person was standing on nothing, but you are standing on bedrock, unshakable, unmovable, unbreakable. You know something nobody else knows. It has been sitting in your spirit like a loaded weapon with the safety on. But here is what is about to happen. That safety is coming off. This information you are carrying, when you release it, is going to turn on light bulbs in people's heads so bright, everyone will wonder how anyone ever lived in darkness. It is the type of truth that has been hidden in plain sight. The obvious thing everyone somehow missed. When you finally speak it, people are going to slap their heads and say, "Oh damn, that is right. How did we not see this?" But here is the thing that makes you dangerous. This was not random information you stumbled upon. God specifically deposited this inside you, downloaded it into your consciousness like spiritual software. You have been chosen to carry this truth because there is a group of people assigned to you, people who are mentally imprisoned by lies, emotionally trapped by manipulation, psychologically locked in false narratives, and you have the key that is about to set them all free, not because you wanted this responsibility, but because when the divine needed someone who could not be bought, broken, or silenced, your name came up, and that information inside you, it is about to be the match that burns down everything built on deception. You are about to get hit with a massive wave of confidence, not the fake kind that comes from ego, the real kind that comes from knowing you are walking in divine purpose. You are getting a consciousness upgrade right now. Your spiritual eyes are opening wider. Things that confused you before are suddenly crystal clear. Patterns you could not see are now obvious. People you could not read are now transparent as glass. God hid you in plain sight to look regular, to look average. Others looked at you and thought there was nothing special happening. People saw you looking down and assumed you were not paying attention, but you were fully awake the entire time. You see those spiritual eyes in the back of your head. You have been watching everything. You do not have to be in the same room. You do not even have to know names. When the time is right, you will know exactly who these individuals are, exactly what was done, and exactly what needs to be said. The assumption was that secrets were getting buried successfully. The belief was that lies were covered well enough. But you have been standing there collecting receipts, building the case, gathering the evidence, and now the prosecution is about to rest. The judge is about to render the verdict, and you are about to witness complete exposure. Your position as the observer gave you a massive advantage nobody considered. While the performance was happening, you were studying. While the focus was on maintaining an image, you were noticing the cracks. While the effort went into controlling the room, you were reading the room. This is the power of being underestimated. You gained access to information that never would have been shared if anyone knew you were paying attention. Words were said in front of you that never would have been spoken if anyone realized you could understand. Moves were made in your presence that never would have happened if anyone knew you were tracking patterns. Your supposed insignificance became your greatest strategic advantage. You saw everything, heard everything, noticed everything, and nobody even knew you were there. Not really. Not in the way that matters. Now all that observation is about to pay off. Every conversation you overheard, every inconsistency you caught, every contradiction you noticed, every lie you identified, it all becomes evidence, proof, documentation. The assumption was that tracks were covered. The belief was that everything was handled carefully. But there was no accounting for someone like you, someone patient enough to wait, someone sharp enough to see, someone sharp enough to see, someone sharp enough to see, someone brave enough to speak, someone positioned perfectly to bring it all down. Get ready for your close-up, because recognition is coming, invitations are coming, interviews are coming. People are going to want to know how you knew what you knew, where this wisdom came from, who taught you to see what others missed. When you expose what needs to be exposed, you are not just bringing people to shame, you are bringing yourself to light. You represent hope, destination, knowing where you are going. You can see the finish line, you know where this is headed. And here is the beautiful part. God does not send you anywhere to look shabby. You might be dressed in a way that makes people underestimate you. Your style might make them think someone like you should not think this deep. The assumption might be that you should be an airhead, a ditz, someone attractive but empty. But you are not. Looks are deceiving. You are hidden in plain sight. People see you glowing, but nobody would suspect you have this type of spiritual knowledge, this level of intelligence, this depth of awareness. When you bring somebody down, it might bring you fame. Let that sink in. Your elevation is directly connected to their exposure. When you set the record straight, you are moving into the upper echelon, that place where the real kings and queens sit, not the fake ones, the ones who actually earned their crowns. There is something poetic about how this works. Years were spent building a spotlight, manipulating attention, controlling narratives, making sure all eyes were watching. That spotlight was craved, that attention was lived for, an entire identity was built around being seen, being heard, being celebrated. But that same spotlight that created fame is about to expose shame. The very platform that was built is going to become the stage of disgrace. The audience that was cultivated is going to witness downfall. The attention that was commanded is going to focus on humiliation. You did not have to build a platform. You did not have to gather an audience. You did not have to create attention. All that work was done for you. And now when you speak your truth, their platform becomes your stage. Their audience becomes your witness. Their spotlight becomes your moment. This is divine irony. This is cosmic justice. This is the universe using their own tools against them. If you felt called by this message, hype this video so other chosen ones like you can be reached. Your identity transforms. You are no longer the person who was dismissed. You are no longer the voice that was silenced. You are no longer the presence that was ignored. You become the authority nobody can deny, the expert everyone has to acknowledge, the truth teller nobody can dismiss. Your reputation shifts from overlooked to overseen, from underestimated to undeniable, from background to foreground. And this transformation is not manufactured. It is not image management. It is not fake rebranding. It is authentic emergence, the real you, the one nobody could see before, becoming visible to everyone. This new identity was not given by anyone. The distortion was simply removed from the lens. The blocking stopped. People's view of who you actually are became clear, and when people see you clearly, without the manipulator's filter, something genuine is recognized, something solid, something trustworthy. The contrast becomes obvious. The performance had no substance. You are all substance with no performance. Loudness had nothing to say. You are quiet with everything to reveal. Constant validation was needed there. You carry quiet confidence. The difference is unmistakable once people know what to look for. The information is still coming. It is arriving in stages, in waves. You might not have all the pieces yet, but you are getting them systematically. One revelation arrives, another insight follows. You are being given exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. How did I think of that? You did not. That was not you thinking. That was God uploading truth into your system, angels downloading wisdom into your spirit. This is why you need to be a good receiver. Stay open, stay ready, stay alert, because when all these pieces come together, when all the waves of information combine, you are going to have one complete picture, a picture so undeniable that nobody can argue with it, a picture so clear that guilt will not even attempt defense, and you are getting the strength to handle this, the confidence to speak it, the boldness to stand on it. You are walking around fully awake while everyone thinks you are sleeping. You are operating at a frequency nobody can detect. You are moving with a wisdom nobody can comprehend. And when you finally reveal what you know, the shockwave is going to ripple through every space those liars ever occupied. Where there should be harmony, there is panic. Where there should be peace, there is chaos. Someone is jabbing at piano keys with no idea what is being played. No melody, no rhythm, just desperate noise. The sense exists that something is coming. The atmosphere is shifting. Nobody knows exactly what you know, but danger is sensed. Spirit is screaming warnings that cannot quite be heard. Exposure as a liar is coming. Exposure as a fraud is approaching. Exposure as someone who never was what was claimed is imminent. And here comes the demotion, the regression, the decrease. This person is going down, back to entry level, back to the bottom. Someone who was boss is about to be underneath people who were mistreated. Someone who had power is about to watch former subordinates get promoted above. The bigger the people who were played in front of, the bigger the humiliation that is coming. Those important people are going to be salty, embarrassed that the act was believed, and the faker, town hero becomes town clown in one revelation. You need to understand the magnitude of what is about to happen. An entire identity was built on deception. A persona was crafted that people believed in. Stories were told that were not true. Credit was taken for accomplishments that belonged to others. Positioning happened as an expert when amateur was the reality. And everyone bought it. People believed the image. Trust was given to the presentation. The performance was believed. But you saw through it from the beginning. You noticed the inconsistencies. You caught the contradictions. You spotted the holes in the narrative. While everyone else was applauding, you were taking notes. While the crowd was cheering, you were collecting evidence. And now that evidence is about to go public. When you expose what needs to be exposed, an entire world is going to implode. You are not chasing anyone down. You are not seeking revenge. You are just speaking truth. And truth has its own gravitational pull, its own unstoppable force. The assumption was that the top was reached. The belief was that security existed. But the foundation was rotten, built on sand, constructed with stolen credentials and fake achievements. One push from reality and the whole thing crumbles. Meanwhile, you built on solid ground. You did not skip steps. You walked through every level completely. That is why you are still standing when the earthquake comes. That is why your house remains when the storm hits. Everything that was stolen gets returned. Think about it. Opportunities that should have gone to you were taken. Praise for work not done was received. Promotions based on fabricated accomplishments were given. Celebration happened for talents never possessed. But when the truth comes out, all of that reverses. The glory that was misdirected is about to find its rightful owner. The recognition that was misplaced is about to land where it belongs. The honor that was stolen is about to be restored. You are not asking for this. You are not demanding it. You are not manipulating it. It is happening naturally because truth has a way of correcting the record all by itself. When people realize celebration went to the wrong person, foolishness will be felt. When understanding comes that investment went to a fraud, betrayal will be experienced. And when discovery happens about who was actually doing the real work all along, redirection of everything occurs toward you. The invitations extended will be rescinded and offered to you instead. The partnerships formed will be dissolved and presented to you. The resources poured in will be withdrawn and invested in you. This is not favoritism. This is correction. This is not luck. This is justice. The universe is balancing the books, settling the accounts, making things right. And you are about to receive everything that was always meant for you, but got intercepted by someone who did not deserve it. Here is something the faker did not account for. Witnesses. There are people who saw what really happened. Observation occurred while you did the work and someone else took the credit. Watching happened while you created the value and someone else claimed the victory. Noticing took place while you carried the weight and someone else wore the crown. Those witnesses stayed quiet because belief seemed unlikely, or maybe silence happened because fear of retaliation existed, or perhaps mouths stayed shut because involvement in drama was unwanted. But when you speak your truth, those witnesses are going to find their voices too. There is an order to how things are supposed to work. You go from page to knight to queen to ruler, student to apprentice to master to leader. But the middle part was skipped. Beginner went straight to boss. How? By cutting corners, by hurting people, by manipulating the system, by bucking the rules. But bucking the system gets you bit. The knight phase was skipped. That is where the real work happens. That is where character gets built. That is where proof of handling responsibility occurs. Jumping right over it happened, going from page to queen, and that is why the position was never secure. It is like building something without securing the middle. Eventually, it falls through. You, on the other hand, walked every step. Slow and steady wins the race. Do it once, do it right. Your steps have been ordered by the divine. Every delay was preparation. Every closed door was protection. Every no was redirection toward this moment. And now your foundation is unshakable. Your position is solid. Your authority is legitimate. When you step into the upper echelon, you belong there. When you sit at the table with kings and queens, you earn that seat. Nobody can question your credentials because you have the receipts. You did the work. Here is what happens when someone bucks the system and gets away with it for too long. The system starts to malfunction. Other people see success through shortcuts and think that is how it works. Copying of the cheating starts. Mimicking of the manipulation begins. Replicating of the deception happens. Before long, a whole culture of corruption exists, a community of corner cutters, an environment where integrity is punished and deception is rewarded. But the universe does not allow that to continue indefinitely. At some point, a correction happens, a recalibration, a reset, and that is what is happening right now. You are the correction mechanism. When you expose what needs to be exposed, you are not just taking down one person. You are resetting an entire system. You are sending a message to everyone who was watching and learning. The message is simple. Shortcuts do not work forever. Lies eventually get exposed. Stolen glory eventually gets returned. Manipulated positions eventually collapse. And people who do things the right way eventually win. Your testimony is going to do more than vindicate you personally. It is going to restore faith in the process. It is going to prove that integrity still matters. It is going to demonstrate that character still counts. It is going to show that doing things the right way is still the best way. People who are starting to lose hope are going to get encouraged. People who were tempted to start cheating are going to reconsider. People who were questioning whether honesty pays off are going to get their answer. Yes, it does. It might take longer. It might be harder. It might require more patience. But in the end, truth wins. Justice prevails. The righteous are vindicated, and you are living proof. You are carrying a spiritual key. This is not metaphorical. You literally hold the key that unlocks prisons, mental prisons where people are trapped in confusion, emotional prisons where suffocation happens under manipulation, psychological prisons where escape from lies is impossible. There are gatekeepers standing around these prisons, people who benefit from keeping others locked up, people who do not want you to reach the captives. But you having this key changes the entire game. When you turn it, when you unlock those doors, freedom floods in like a tidal wave, and those gatekeepers, humiliation beyond measure is coming. Embarrassment will occur when everyone sees the truth about who was keeping people trapped. Power structure is about to collapse. Control is about to evaporate. Authority is about to be revoked. Because you are about to expose reality. Not protectors, prison guards, not leaders, manipulators, not heroes, villains, and when that mask comes off, when true face is revealed, shame will be public and permanent. When you unlock those prison doors, watch what happens. People who have been living under a false narrative are suddenly going to see clearly. Realization is going to come that lies were told, that manipulation occurred, that control was exercised, and the reaction is going to be powerful. Some will be angry at themselves for believing the lies. Some will be furious at the person who deceived. Some will be grateful to you for showing the truth. But all of them are going to be free. Free to think for themselves again. Free to make choices based on reality instead of deception. Free to pursue paths that were previously blocked by false information. You are not just correcting a record. You are liberating an entire community. Some of these people have been operating from faulty data, making decisions based on lies, building lives around false premises, and when you reveal the truth, everything shifts. Re-evaluation is going to happen. Reassessment, reconstruction, but that is growth, that is evolution, that is transformation, and you are the catalyst. The gatekeeper did not want this liberation to happen, because free people are harder to control. People who know truth are harder to manipulate. People who see clearly are harder to deceive. Gatekeeper power depended on keeping people in darkness, maintaining the confusion, perpetuating the lies. But you are bringing light, clarity, truth, and light always wins. Darkness cannot stand against it. Lies cannot survive exposure to it. Manipulation cannot function in the presence of it. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology. The same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. Look at where you are headed. The upper echelon. The real players club. You are about to be completely surrounded by people who operate with actual power. Righteous power. Legitimate authority. These are rulers who earned their thrones. Kings and queens who built their kingdoms through real work. When you walk into this space, recognition is going to happen immediately. Real recognizes real. Desire is going to exist to meet you, to know your story, to understand your journey. You are about to meet someone who knows someone, who knows someone. You are one connection away from opportunities that seemed impossible, 2 introductions away from people you never thought you would encounter. And when those meetings happen, catapulting is going to occur into a dimension you could not have reached on your own. Not because manipulation happened, but because God said it was your time and the universe arranged the introductions. This is divine networking, supernatural promotion. This is what happens when you are obedient to your assignment, when you use your key to set the captives free, when you expose what needs to be exposed, when you speak what needs to be spoken. The reward is not just vindication, it is elevation, it is access, it is influence, it is impact, it is everything you were promised. Something fascinating happens when you set the record straight. The people who ignored you before suddenly want to hear from you. The people who overlooked you before suddenly want to include you. The people who dismissed you before suddenly want to learn from you. It is not that you changed. You were always this intelligent. You always had this wisdom. You always possessed this insight. But seeing was impossible because perception was distorted by the faker's narrative. Painting you as insignificant happened, as incompetent, as irrelevant, and people believed that description instead of investigating for themselves. But when the truth comes out, when the record gets corrected, perception shifts dramatically. Suddenly clear seeing of you happens. Understanding comes about what you have been saying all along. Recognition occurs of the value that was invisible before, and access is wanted. Access to your mind, access to your knowledge, access to your perspective, access to your network. This is not someone doing you a favor. This is realization happening about what was almost missed, what was nearly lost, what should have been paid attention to from the beginning. You are not chasing these opportunities. Connections are being presented to you, because when truth establishes your reputation, building it yourself becomes unnecessary. It builds itself. When integrity validates your character, defending it becomes unnecessary. It defends itself. When excellence proves your competence, arguing it becomes unnecessary. It argues itself. The upper echelon is not just a physical space. It is a frequency, a vibration, a level of consciousness, and you are rising to match it. The people who operate there think differently. Movement happens differently. Evaluation happens differently. Falling for surface-level presentations does not happen. Spotting substance versus style is possible. Detection of authenticity versus performance occurs. Recognition of earned authority versus borrowed credibility happens. That is why the faker never really belonged there, even when infiltration was managed. The real players always sensed something was off. Pinpointing it exactly was not possible, but knowing existed. The energy did not match. The frequency was wrong. The vibe was inconsistent. Politeness existed about not calling it out publicly, but distance was kept. Full trust was withheld. Healthy skepticism was maintained. Then you show up, and immediately, the difference is felt. Your energy is solid. Your frequency is authentic. Your vibe is genuine. Proof of your legitimacy is not needed, because sensing happens. Credentials to validate your worth are not needed, because feeling occurs. References to confirm your character are not needed, because reading is possible. This is why your transition into this space is going to be smooth, natural, effortless. You are not forcing your way in. Welcome is being extended. You are not breaking down doors. Doors are opening. You are not demanding recognition. Recognition is being given, because you belong here. You always did. The faker was the intruder. You are the rightful heir. Now watch what happens when you finally speak, when you release what you know, when you share what was downloaded. The guilty parties are going to be absolutely devastated. Carefully constructed image is going to shatter like glass hitting concrete. Everything built on lies is going to burn. Credibility will be destroyed. Influence will evaporate. Power will be revoked. Trying to keep talking can happen, but nobody will listen anymore. Going from respected to rejected happens, from the head of the table to not even allowed in the room, from boss to unemployed, from authority to laughingstock. The reversal is total and complete. But here is what matters more. The innocent people who were falsely accused are getting their names back, reputations restored, characters validated. The cloud of suspicion is lifting. The false narratives are crumbling. When you speak your truth, light shines on everyone who was unjustly condemned. You are not just fighting your own battle, you are fighting for everyone who could not fight for themselves. Your courage creates courage in others. Your victory creates victory for an entire community. This is bigger than you. This is a movement. This is justice rolling down like water. This is righteousness rising up like a flood, and you are the catalyst that started it all. Everything has led to this moment. Every experience prepared you. Every struggle strengthened you. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every closed door positioned you perfectly. And now you are standing exactly where you need to be with exactly what needs to be released. The information inside you is complete. The downloads have finished. The pieces have clicked together. The full picture is clear. You know what needs to be said. You know how to say it. You know why it matters. And most importantly, you know you were born for this. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is destiny. This is calling. This is purpose. The captives need you to be brave. The innocent need you to speak up. The manipulators need to be exposed. And God needs you to be obedient. So here is what happens next. You take your position. You gather your strength. You remember who you are and why you were chosen. You think about everyone counting on you. You consider the cost of silence versus the power of truth. And then you speak. You release it. You expose it. You illuminate it. You set the record straight. You put the guilty to shame. You vindicate the innocent. You unlock the prisons. You fulfill your destiny. The impact of what you are doing extends beyond this moment, beyond this situation, beyond these specific people. You are setting a precedent. You are establishing a standard. You are proving that lies do not win in the end. Future deceivers are going to think twice because memory will exist of what happened here. Memory will exist of how thoroughly someone got exposed when safety was assumed. Memory will exist of how completely reputation was destroyed when truth finally emerged. Memory will exist of how permanently marking happened when deception was chosen over integrity. Your act of courage becomes a warning to everyone else who might be tempted to walk the same path. This is why your assignment is so important. You are not just correcting one lie. You are discouraging countless future lies. You are not just vindicating one innocent person. You are protecting countless future victims. You are not just exposing one manipulator. You are deterring countless future manipulators. The ripple effect of your obedience is going to touch people you will never meet, situations you will never know about, lies that will never be told because someone remembered what happened when you spoke up. From this moment forward, a new narrative takes over. The old story was written by the deceiver. Control happened over what people heard. Shaping occurred of what people believed. Determination was made about what people knew. But that story is finished. The book is closed. The chapter is complete. Now your story begins. The real story. The true story. The accurate story. And this story is going to spread faster than lies ever did. Because truth has velocity that lies can never match. Truth has momentum that deception can never generate. Truth has staying power that manipulation can never sustain. You are going to watch your truth spread through communities like wildfire, through dry grass. One person tells another. That person tells their circle. That circle spreads it to networks. Within a short time, everyone knows, and hearing is not just happening about your words. Seeing of the evidence is occurring. Meeting of the witnesses is taking place. Connecting of the dots is happening by people themselves. This is not propaganda. This is not spin. This is not marketing. This is raw, unfiltered, undeniable truth that speaks for itself. The faker needed constant effort to maintain lies. Spinning new stories to cover old inconsistencies had to keep happening. Managing perceptions to prevent people from seeing clearly was necessary. Manipulating conversations to control the narrative was required. But truth does not require that kind of maintenance. Truth stands on its own. Truth speaks for itself. Truth defends itself. All you have to do is release it and let it work. The universe backs you. The divine goes with you. Angels surround you. Truth is your weapon. Confidence is your armor. Victory is already yours. The right people are being put to absolute shame right now. The record is being set completely straight right now, and you are the instrument making it all happen, not by accident, not by chance, but by divine design. You were chosen for this, prepared for this, positioned for this. The shame is coming for those who deserve it. The freedom is coming for those who need it. The fame is coming for you. The truth is coming to light. The lies are being exposed. The innocent are being vindicated. The guilty are being revealed. The captives are being freed. Justice is being served. And you, chosen one, you are the catalyst for all of it. This is your moment. your season, your time. Walk forward with your head high. Speak your truth without apology. Stand in your power without wavering. Shine your light without dimming. The boulder is rolling backwards on your enemies. The ball is in motion and cannot be stopped. Your elevation into the upper echelon is happening right now. The key in your hand is turning in the lock. The prison doors are swinging open. The gatekeepers are being humiliated. The falsely accused are being cleared. The liars are being exposed. The manipulators are being brought down. And you are rising into everything you were promised, everything you were prepared for, everything you deserve, because you did not skip steps, you did not cut corners, you did not hurt people to get ahead. You walked the path with integrity. You built on solid ground. You did the work, and now you are reaping the harvest. So be bold, be brave, be powerful. The ending is victory, complete, total, undeniable victory. The record is set straight. The right person is in absolute shame. And you, chosen one, you are exactly where you were always meant to be. Standing in truth, walking in power, operating in purpose, shining in glory. This is your time. Own it.